Hello everyone, very good evening. I hope I'm audible loud and clear. I
Yes.
hope everyone I'm audible loud and clear.
Yes, you are audible.
Awesome, thank you. I'm expecting some more participants, so we'll just wait for the 3 minutes and 2 3 minutes, and then we'll start. I'll share you the agendas and everything. Let's wait for the next 2 3 minutes, and then we'll start. We'll start in 2 or 3 minutes, folks. Hello everyone. Good evening again. Welcome back. So let's get started. I can see there are 50 people now. So let's get started. Let me share the screen with you. Just give me 1 minute. Let me share the screen with you. I hope you are able to see my screen, everyone. I hope you are able to see my screen. Just reply me on the chat.
Yes, we can see the screen. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So let me start with my introductions. I guess I already have one demo, but still, let me start. Let me open my PPT. Sorry, I just closed it mistakenly. Sorry, folks, my bad. I just need a quick second. I mistakenly close that. Anyway, let's get started. So my name is Ameya. So currently, I'm having more than 17 years of experience in the industry. So mainly, I'm the cybersecurity guy. When I say cybersecurity, so from the day one, actually, I'm working on a different product for the securities. So my current job role is to implement the security on a various products like an AWS, Amazon Web Services, like the Google Cloud Platform, that's in GCP. For the Azure, it's for the Microsoft, it's an Azure, and for the Oracle, it's an OCI, and for the China, very famous Alibaba. So from last 5+ years, I'm also in the training. So I already completed more than 80 or 90 batches for the Amazon Web Services. I'm a 4x AWS certified. I have completed the AWS Solution Architect Associate certification, AWS Developer Associate, SysOps Administrator Associate, then the Solution Architect Professional, and the AWS Security Specialty. I also completed the other certifications like an Azure Administration and the Azure Security, and also the Azure Architectures. Okay, for the documentations, okay, I'm also completed some compliances certificates because as you know that security and compliance both play a vital role in the industries. I'm also working on the CISSP and the latest some AI tools, right? But my mainly focus is on the AWS. So today, so this is just my basic introductions. So today we are going to understand some of the information about the AWS. Okay, so I'll very keep it very small, right? And I want to give you more time to have to answer your questions. Okay, so first, okay, I'm going to start with the very basic thing that what exactly what exactly the cloud is. Okay, why we are here, what exactly the definition of the cloud. Then I'll also explain you about the AWS certifications, okay, and the benefits, why we need the certifications, whether once we complete the certification, whether we'll get the jobs. Okay, obviously, no one can tell you that, okay, you will get this much salary, but yes, definitely how exactly AWS help you for the certifications. And I'll also explain you that what exactly the AWS and what is a feature, benefit, and advantage of the AWS. So that's my agenda for today. And then mainly I'm expecting the questions and I'm responsible for answer those. So whatever the questions you have in your mind related to your AWS, okay, I'm expecting that you can ask here because this is the best platform that you can resolve your query. So whatever the doubts you have, okay, so you can ask me. I can try my best to answer those questions. So now let's get started, okay, and let's understand that what exactly the cloud. So now, folks, quick reply or quick chat with you, or let's say quick. Let's say take some quick polls. So let's say everyone is now using the cloud, right? So let's take our phone or mobile phone. 5 or 10 years ago, we are also using the mobile phone, right? But hardly it connected to the internet connection. So that time on our mobile phone, we have 100 plus songs. We have a playlist, okay? Or even though in our computers, that's a computer also, okay? We have hundreds of songs which we store and we listen whenever we have a time. Time change after 5, 10 years, cloud come to the picture, cloud comes into our life. Now we hardly have the song stored in our mobile phone. And if you want to listen the songs, we are mostly, I can say more than 90% we depend on the cloud. Amazon, then for an example, the songs, right? The we have a plenty of applications, Wink Musics, then songs.com, then also the Amazon Musics, right? These are the different applications. And if you open that application, we have an entire huge list. Same thing for the movie. We download the song, we download the music using torrent and everything. But nowadays, everyone is watching the movie online. Shoppings, obviously, again, the cloud come to the pictures. It means what? Cloud completely change our life, I can say. Okay, for a betterment. We don't need to rely on the hardware on the on-premises. So now, if someone comes to you and say that, hey, what is a cloud? So what do you think? What is your one-liner answer? I'm just expecting a one-liner answer from you guys. So if I come to you and say that, what is a cloud? So you can type the question, type the answer on the chat. So if you feel, okay, if you know the answer, anything, no matter whether it is technical or whether it is non-technical, whatever, okay, you feel that this is called a cloud, you can just type on the chat. So what do you think, folks? What exactly the cloud is? I hope you are able to type on the chat, everyone. Okay, I got a first answer, that is data on the internet is a cloud. Okay, correct, Sahil. What about other folks? I just need a one-liner answer from you guys. Come on, folks. I'm waiting for your answer. It's a remote machine connected to the network. Okay, Gajanan, good. What about other folks? What about other folks? I'll give you 1 minute to type your question. That is only one-liner answer I'm expecting from you guys. So what do you think? What exactly the cloud here? Any one-liner answer I'm expecting? Come on, folks. We have more than 60 people here. I'm expecting at least 30, 40 answer. What do you think? What is a cloud for you? I'm just expecting a one-liner answer. That's it. I'll give another 30 seconds. So delivery of computing service over the internet, AWS service, global network servers. It's a okay. Okay. Thank you so much, folks, for giving the answer. Now, when we say the cloud, right? So now I'm asking you the questions. Okay. Now I'm expecting the answer. It's in general questions. I hope everyone is using the Ola and Uber. That is what? That is one of the taxi services. Now let's say this is the Ola. Okay, Ola, or let's say this is an Uber. Okay, these are the, let's say, one of the taxi company. Okay, and here you can see this is nothing but your personal car. Okay, this is your personal car. Let's say Nexon. Okay, you are using the Nexon. Okay, so now what do you think, folks? Okay, what advantage you will get if you are using the Ola or Uber instead of your personal car? I repeat, my questions to you guys is, what do you think, what benefits you will get if you are using the Ola or Uber instead of your personal car? Now let me tell you the first answer here. Now if you book the car, you don't need to drive the car. That's the advantage I'll get. I can sit, I can relax. Whereas if it is my own car, I need to drive. That's just one of the example. So what do you think? What additional benefits you will get if you are using the Ola and Uber instead of your personal car? Come on, folks. I'm waiting for the answer. So the first answer already gave. Okay, so Gajanan said correctly, the maintenance part. Now, folks, there are two type of maintenance. Okay, now what exactly it is? The first maintenance, that's the, once you complete the 10,000 kilometer or 1 year, then you need to go to the service stations and you need to have your servicing. That's the yearly maintenance that you need to perform here. And also there is a running maintenance as well. Okay, so when I say running maintenance, it means what? You are going somewhere and your car got punctures. Obviously you are the responsible for to have the in case if you are using your own car, then you are the only responsible. But let's say if you are traveling to the Ola and Uber and you are traveling and the Ola car got puncture, then obviously it is not the our responsibility. It is an Ola and Uber responsibility to have to correct that tire pressure or anything. So the first answer I got it. That's a maintenance. What else do you think, folks? What else do you think? If you want, you can speak as well, or if you want, you can type on the chat. So the first answer I got, I said that we don't need to drive the car. The second thing is that we don't need to have the worried about the maintenance. Come on, folks. Exactly, Gajanan. You gave me the right answer. So Gajanan said that luxury to travel with any car. It means what? Today you're traveling, right? You are a single person, so you can book the micro car or you can book the small car. Okay, what exactly it is? So that is your need, right? So you don't need to the SUV car or the sedan car because you're traveling single person, so we can book the car to save the cost because that is our need. So today you are traveling the car and next day you're traveling with your 4 or 5 members, your family. Obviously for that the micro car is not sufficient. So what you can do is you can upgrade the car and you can also book the sedan car as well, or you can also book the more luxury cars. Why? Because your need is in your need say I need more or higher car. In case of the our own car, we will have to use the same car. It means what? Whenever you want, you can upgrade it, and whenever you want, you can degrade it as well. Now the same thing here in the cloud as well. Whenever you want, you can upgrade it, and whenever you want, you can degrade it as well. Then no need to parking. Exactly correct. So here, if you are using the Ola and Uber, right? Obviously, we don't need to park the car. It's an Ola and Uber and driver headache. No insurance hassle, correct? Scaling, okay. That is what we're saying, Mohammed. Okay, exactly, Gajanan. So pay when you take the services. It means what? Pay, as per your uses, pay as you go. So if you are traveling 10 kilometers, then you just need to pay for the 10-kilometer charges. If you are traveling 12 kilometers, it means what? Just need to pay the 12. You don't need to purchase the entire car. In case of personal, okay, you need to purchase the entire car, whereas in Ola or Uber, you don't need to purchase any car here. Absolutely correct. So till now, okay, what we have understood. So first, it is a completely the pay as you go, right? It means what? You don't need to purchase any car. It's a completely pay as you go. We don't need to worried about any maintenance. Maintenance is taken care by the completely Ola and Uber. Then we also don't need to worried about the space. When we talk about the space, it means what? Your parking space. Same thing. At the same time, we also talk about the security. Security is also Ola and Uber responsibility. When I say security, it means what? Your car security. Okay, theft security. So that is their responsibility. It is not our responsibility. Whenever we want, we can upgrade it, and whenever we want, we can degrade it as well. It means what? It's a completely flexible. Now you wonder why I'm asking this question in middle of the AWS sessions. Because if you compare, the Ola and Uber is nothing but your cloud, and your car, physical car, is nothing but your on-premises machine. Now the same features and benefits you will get if you are using the cloud instead of your on-premises. When I say on-premises, it means what? Your physical server, your racks, your hard disk, network equipments, etc., etc. In case of the cloud, obviously we don't need to use, or we don't need to invest any money to purchase these hardware. Because why? Because cloud provide you the pay as you go services. It means whatever you consume, you just need to pay the same charges. That's it. So today you use some virtual machines in the cloud. You just need to pay per hourly or per second charge. You don't need to purchase the entire hardware. Maintenance, obviously you are using the cloud, so the maintenance part is taken care by the cloud only. But in case of your on-premises, it's your responsibility to have the maintenance. So maintenance, it means what? You're upgrading the hardware. Okay, in case of any issue with your hard disk, cabling, router, switches, you have the maintenance, right? Because it's in on the electronic devices. Space, in case of you want to build a data center, you need a space, you need electricity, you need the cooling machine, you need a security persons, it's involve the staff as well. Whereas in the cloud, you don't need to worry about anything because that is taken care by the AWS. You are just accessing all the infrastructure using your laptop and internet connection. That's it. And obviously the upgradation part. So now let's suppose, for an example, you are working in an organization, you are managing the entire network. Now one person comes to you and say that, hey, I want to test one application, and to test that application, I need the 4 GB RAM, for an example, 2.4 gigahertz machines, Linux operating system. Okay, this is my requirement. Now think, in case of your on-premises environment, it is very difficult to manage or procure the hardware. You need to find out and then you can provide it. But in case of cloud, within a few seconds or minute, you can provide the virtual machine to that QA guy or the QA person, so that he can test it, he can run it, right, and he can finish the jobs. Now after 2 or 3 days, that person comes to you again and say that, hey, actually you provide me the 4 GB of RAM, 2.4 gigahertz machines, and some Linux operating system, but Now I want to test my application on 1 GB of RAM. I want to see whether my application is compatible with the 1 GB RAM or not. So now what we need to do is we need to either upgrade or degrade it. So now again, in case of the on-premises infrastructure, it is very difficult for you to degrade the hardware or the upgrade the hardware. But in case of the cloud, it's a hardly a few minute step where you can upgrade it or you can degrade it. So that's the cloud computing. It means the cloud computing is a completely on-demand on-demand delivery of the compute power, database, storage, application, and some other IT resources via internet with PA-as-you-go service. So these resources run on a servers, computers that are located in a large data center in a different location around the world. And when you use the cloud service provider like an AWS, that service provider own the computers that they are using. It means what? It's not like that they have the cloud. It means what? There's servers or machines somewhere in the main cloud. No, they are also using the hardware for exactly what exactly I mean. Let's say you host, okay, you purchase one domain. Let's say mysongs.com. Okay, you purchase one domain, that's the mysongs.com, and in that okay, and you hosted your website on your physical machine. Let's say this is some laptop you have. You host your website, right? And in that website you have 1,000 songs. Obviously, as you are hosting your website on your laptop, so it means that 1,000 songs it's stored on your physical machine. Now the consumer, okay, like your user who is accessing the mysongs.com, when they download any specific songs on their mobile phone or let's say their computer, it means what? Actually they are downloading from your physical machine to their system. Now for them, okay, for this user, okay, they download the songs from the cloud, but actually all the data is stored on a physical machines. Same thing, they are the service provider of the cloud. They are also using the hardware. But to manage this hardware, it's a completely AWS responsibility. It's not a customer or any other responsibility. So these resources can also use together like in building blocks, building solutions that help to meet the business goal and satisfy the technology requirement. So this is called the cloud. I hope folks you understand. Just give me a thumbs up if okay. If you have any questions, anything, you can type or you can speak. If everything is okay, just give me a thumbs up on the chat. Okay, got 1, 3, 4. You can give me acknowledgement on the chat as well. Thank you, Pawan. Awesome. Thank you, Rupesh, Nilata. Okay. So there is a question: who own the cloud? It means what? Who own that physical server, right? You mean to say the ownership of infrastructure? Can you please elaborate, Isai? Because the ownership of the cloud can be understood in a different context depending upon what aspect of the cloud that you are referring. So when you say the ownership infrastructure, so major cloud service provider like an AWS, Azure, GCP, and some other, they own, they operate, and they have their own physical infrastructure, which make up the cloud. This include your data centers, servers, networking, hardwares, storage systems, okay, which is located in various regions across the world. So can you elaborate who own the cloud? You mean to say the company, they own the cloud. Second question, is it safe to save files on a cloud? Yes. Is it safe to save the file on your cloud? So nowadays, right, you are using the Google Drive, right, where you upload the files, you can share the files. Actually, it means what? There, it's an encrypted format. So AWS also use a different mechanism. For an example, server-side encryption, key management services, dual layer protections. So they are having the encryptions as well, and obviously they have a policy. They have a compliance policy that they, the same hardware they will not share to the other any customers. Once you delete and everything, obviously they can share it, but meantime we are using, they never shared. Okay, obviously you cannot visit their data centers, whether it is AWS or Google GCP, but they have a compliance program, they have a third party audits, okay, which gave the certifications about the different compliances. Okay, so for example, Netflix. So when you watch the movie, actually what you are communicate to their specific video. So obviously they save their entire thing on, obviously the Netflix, they don't have any specific data center. They are also using the cloud services. So entire data on the cloud service as well. So yes, to save the file on the cloud is a completely safe. I hope you got the answer, Isa. I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Okay, let's go ahead, folks. Now here, let's understand, okay, what AWS offer as an AWS certifications. Okay, so AWS also has a different certifications. AWS also launched many new certifications. So now here on your screen, you can see AWS offer the different certifications. For an example, here you can see the foundational, professional, associate, specialty. AWS offer these four type of um, so four type of the certification. Now let's say if the AWS is alien for you. Okay? Remember, AWS is a product. It's not a technology. Okay, I repeat, AWS is a product. It's not a technology. Like you use Instagram, right? Facebook. These are what? These are also the product, right? So now, once the first time when you download the Instagram and now you're using the Instagram, there is a difference, right? You are now familiar with their concept. Now you are easily create the reels. You can share the reels as well. You know the how exactly Instagram functions. In case any update is there, UI change is there, you can easily adopt those changes. Why? Because you are familiar with that product. Same thing, the AWS is a product, but that is used for the variety of use cases. For example, for the web applications, web servers, websites, application deployment, managing the servers, creating the networks, creating the containers, creating the AR and VR, then the IoTs, Internet of Things. Even though you can also create a virtual satellite on the AWS. So there are lot many categories of which AWS has, and you can perform anything on the AWS. There are lot many developer tools are available, okay, and using them you can also create the applications, mobile applications and everything. So to learn this AWS has a certifications, different certifications. Now the first one is a foundational level certification. When I say foundational level certification, it means what? If the AWS is alien for you, you don't know about the AWS product. It's a completely new for you. then what you can do is you can start with the cloud practitioner. Now, when I say cloud practitioner, it means what? It is an introductions to the AWS backend services or backbone services, like how exactly you can create authentication authorizations, how exactly you can create the user group policies, how exactly you can manage the store, how exactly you can create the virtual machines networking. So it cover the basic idea or basic thing about the AWS. So then who can go with the certification? As I say that if the AWS is alien for you, you are from the sales background, you are from the project management team, where you just need to understand the feature, then for those, the AWS, the cloud foundations is important. And currently you can say it is still in beta. So currently the beta program is going on for the certification. So this is a newly launched, that's an AI practitioner, because obviously most of the people, they are not from the artificial intelligence. AWS also has many services from where you can create many things using the AI, machine learning as well. So if you want to make a career in the AWS AI, you can also start your career in the AI practitioner as well. Here you can see the associate. So now if you see here, one of the popular certification is AWS Solution Architect Associate. This is one of the powerful certification and one of the uh, demanding certification. Now, why? Solution architecture, it means it design, manage, and planning. How you can design your network, how you can plan your network, and how you can exactly manage the network. Now, here in the Solution Architect Associate, it cover all the foundational service of the AWS, and that is also in a deep. For an example, as I said, authentication authorizations, storage part, networking part, then a database part, virtualizations, containerizations, serverless, all the foundational service it cover in a very deep manner. Now, if the AWS alien for you, you can also start a career in the solution architect. And once you understand all the foundational services, then it is very easy for you can jump to anywhere. So that's the reason, because it covers all the foundational service of the AWS, then it is easy for you to get the jobs. So that's the reason it's cloud solution architecture. AWS solution architecture is one of the most demanding certification in the AWS. There are some other certification as well. For example, AWS Developer Associate. Now, in the AWS Developer Associate, it's not like that. They will teach the syllabus say that okay, you need to code something, you need to use PHP, Java, and some Node.js and all. No, it will not teach you that how to code, but it will teach you that how you can help developer to enhance the code or perform the code. So here in the Developer Associate, there are many tools you will learn it which help developers to upload their codes, to debug their codes, or even though their CI/CD pipeline, that is a continuous integration and continuous delivery. How you can code commit, how you can code build, right? How you can deploy the code. That everything you'll understand in the AWS Developer Associates. Then here also you can see the SysOps administrations. Now, when I say SysOps administration, it means what? How you can manage your entire network, how you can administrator the network, how you can troubleshoot the network, or how you can create the repeatability deployment. When I say repeatability, it means what exactly? It means that you have a network and you need a same network again and again. You are working with the QA team closely, and now the QA team require a same environment again and again. For example, they need same 100 machines, 200 machines, networking, container part. Again, it is very difficult for you to configure everything in a single digit or a single click. So this certification taught you about how you can deploy those network in a minute. That's the SysOps administration. Data engineer, right? So this is also one of the new certifications which you have. Now the data engineer, it means what? Typically, this is for the data analytics, data science, right? Data engineering. If you are from the background, for those background, then here you will definitely go to this specific data engineer. Why? Because there are many tools. So there are many tools which help data science, data engineer to work on analytics. So there are many analytics service are covered in the specific data engineer. And currently the beta, that's an LLM or the machine learning. If you want to learn it, there are many tools are available in AWS. So that informations you will get in a machine learning. And the next one, let's say if you complete that, okay, you can also have the third, that's the AWS solution architecture and AWS DevOps, right? These are the two. So if you ask me that, Amir, can you please let me know which is the toughest 5 certifications global? Okay, it's one of the toughest certification. It's very hard to clear. So I can definitely say that AWS, the solution architect professional, is one of the toughest certifications, or I can say one of the top 5 certifications. Why? Because here the syllabus, okay, you need to deal with a very complex network. You need to deal with a very complex databases and all. So it's an advanced architecture. That's nothing but a solution architect professional. And if you notice, there is a note that 2-year prior experience. It means what? If you are want to achieve the certification, then AWS suggests you that at least you have a 2-year prior certifications to achieve the cloud solution architectures or AWS solution architecture professional. Next, you also have the AWS DevOps engineer professional. Now, this AWS DevOps professional, it means what? That is a combination of the SysOps administration and the developer associate. So both the combinations is called a DevOps, because as you know, DevOps, it means developer plus operation, right? So that's a completely different department, which every organization they has. DevOps say. It's a mixture of development and the operational. So we'll also understand that how you can build the code, right? And how you can deploy the code, for an example, right? So that's become the AWS DevOps professional. And then let's say you have some specializations. Let's say you are working with the Cisco, okay, from last 3-4 years. You have a good knowledge of the networking. But obviously in AWS also, you need a networking as well. You need to understand the networking. And for that, AWS also has a certifications called the AWS Advanced Networking Specialty, where we'll understand the all services here which cover is about the networking only. So for example, how exactly you can create the two, how exactly you can communicate with the two different network in AWS, how exactly you can create a communication from the AWS to your on-premises, how you can configure the VPN, what exactly the direct connection, if you need, or if any customer required a direct communication to the AWS, how you can do that. So everything is covered under the advanced networking. Then we also have the machine learning specialty, right? So this is also bedrocks and all. So there are several tools which we are going to cover in the machine learning as well. So again, it's not like that they will teach you that how you can create the tools using the machine learning. No, there are some default tools which AWS available, and that you need to understand how exactly it works. And then again, one of the famous certification in specialty, that is security specialty. So in the security specialty, the syllabus will cover about how you can secure the AWS environment. It's not like your on-premises environment. It's only cover about the AWS. How you can achieve the fault tolerance, how exactly you can achieve the high availability, and that is also a very secure manner. So AWS security specialty is only for the AWS only, not for any other. So how you can prevent a DOS attack, how you can prevent DDoS attack, what exactly the intrusion detection system, what exactly the intrusion prevention system. So how you can block the ransomwares and all. So that everything it cover in a security specialty. So you might have a question that, okay, Amir, can we start? So as you said that if the AWS is alien for you, then we need to start with the Cloud Practitioner Foundation. So answer is no. It is not a necessary because this is a very, very basic certification which you have. And currently in the industry, it has a very less weightage. So how you can start? Okay, if I want to learn the AWS, then which certification is suitable for me? So I can definitely say that you can start with the AWS Solution Architect Associate. This is the key, I can say, a backbone of the AWS part. If you understand or if you complete the training of the AWS Solution Architecture, then you understand most of the services. Because why? Because once you understand the architecture, it is easy for you to jump anywhere. So it is not compulsory that, okay, if you want to go for the global certification, you will have to complete the first foundation certification. No, it is not a compulsory at all, right? So it is not compulsory at all. So you can jump to anywhere. You can jump to any certification. Now, for an example, let me tell you my example. So my organizations, right, is compatible with the AWS. So we got a training directly from the AWS. So that time I got keen interest in the AWS. So I complete the training, I work hard, and I complete the solution architect associate first. So this is my first AWS certification. I understand everything, right? And as you know that I'm from the security background, I directly jump to the AWS security specialty. So the second certification which I achieved is the AWS security specialty, because I know that AWS security professional is one of the toughest certification. So I skip it, and once I complete the security specialty, then I jump to the security solution professional. Then I completed the developer associate and the sys of administrations. And now I'm preparing for the AI practitioner and also the data engineer. So I'm simultaneously preparing for these two certifications. So it's not compulsory that you need to uh, go with the specific flow. No, you can jump anywhere. And one of the good interesting thing here is that, for an example here, the cloud practitioner foundational cost is $100 plus tax. Right? The cost is $100 plus tax, and for associate is $150 plus tax. For professional, it's a $300 plus tax, and for the specialty also, it's a $300 plus tax. Okay, what exactly? This is a global certification exam cost. If you want to go with the certification, global certification, these are the costs. So the total validity is for the 3 years. Okay, so validity of this certification is a 3 years. So now here, let's say once you clear this exam, once you clear this specific exam, for an example, cloud practitioner, so you will get a certification which validate for the 3 years, and you will also get a 50% coupon code, and that you can apply to the any next exam. So if you already have a 50% coupon code, so this become the $75 plus tax. You again clear the solution architect associate, and now next you want to go ahead with the solution architect professional. The cost is $300, so you already have the 50% coupon code where you achieve here, that you can apply here, and the cost is become the $150 plus tax. So whenever you complete any certifications, whenever you cover any certifications, right, then that time you will get a 50% coupon code. Okay, that's the, I can say, one of the key point of the AWS. Shekhar, okay, for DBA, which one is better? So if you want to database administration, so earlier, okay, a few months back, AWS has the specialty certifications. That's in the AWS certified database specialty, but now they retired it, right? They retired it. Earlier, there was also certification called AWS Certified Data Analytics. They also retired it. But now they have come up with the Data Engineer Associate. Okay. So what exactly my recommendation is that if you want to understand the AWS, okay, then first you should start your career with the architectures. Okay. And then you can jump to anywhere, any certification you can jump. So your first step of the AWS should be the architecture. Why? Because it covers all the foundational services. For example, how exactly you can create virtualizations, how you can create networking, how you can create databases. So everything is covered. And then once you understand, as you are from the DBA background, then you can go with the data engineer associate because it's a step. So if you directly jump to the data engineer, you don't know more than 50% syllabus you don't understand because they consider that you already know the virtualizations. You want to deploy your database on the virtual machine, but you don't know what exactly the EC2 instance is, then it is very difficult. So the basic, or I can say the main foundational service is architecture, and then you can jump to anywhere. Sahil question, I'm a data science, data analytics student, beginner, learner. Which AWS certification will most useful for me to get switch the data science? Yeah, so the same answer. Now for an example, okay, for here, okay, let's say you want to only complete the data engineer as you are from the data science or data engineering background. What my recommendation to you guys, you can complete the training, okay, from the solution architect associate. Once you complete the training, you can go with the data engineer associate because you are from the data engineer background. Okay, so obviously if you have a certification, then that's adding the value. But let's say you have some any issues, right? Because people may have different issues. So let's say you have any issues. What you can do once you understand, you complete the solution architect associate, you can also go complete the training of the data engineer and you can give these examinations. You don't need to give the solution architecture the global exam, but you can definitely go with the data engineer associate global exam. This will save your cost. And the next, because AWS also planning the specialty certifications. Earlier, as I say that there was the certifications, right, for the databases, but they are retired now recently. And soon they will also introduce some new, no, some new certification in the specialty. So meantime, once you complete data engineer, you can also go with the next as well. I hope, Sahil, you got the answer. Okay. So does the AWS have any similarities with RDBMS, that is the relational database management system, right? Yes. So yes, AWS also offers several services that have similarities with your traditional RDBMS. Okay. So for example, MySQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, Oracle, Microsoft SQL. So the service called is a Amazon Relational Database Services. That is a managed service that makes easy to set up, operate, and scale the relational database in the cloud. And it has many popular RDBMS engines. As I said, the SQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, MariaDB, not Oracle, sorry, MariaDB, Microsoft SQL. So you don't need to manage the any engines here that is managed by the AWS. You just need to work on the database part. And there is also similar to the RDBMS, that is Aurora. Aurora is also MySQL and PostgreSQL compatible relational database that combine the performance and they have a availability of high-end commercial database with the simply and cost-effective open source databases. Then AWS also has the Amazon Redshift. Okay, that is also fully managed data warehouse that can handle petabyte scale data and also perform the complex query. and it is also similar to the RDBMS. In that it used the SQL for querying and relational database model, but it is optimized for the large scale data analytics rather than the transactional processing. And there are some non-relation database as well. Why certification is having knowledge not enough to get job? Okay, you mean to say that why certification is important? Only knowledge is not sufficient. Am I correct? Is this your?
Yes.
Yeah, correct. You are said. See, certifications is not uncompulsory, right? So if you have a 10 certification of the AWS and you don't have a knowledge, no use. You will not get a job. You are just a collector of the certification. Obviously, certification is adding the flavor, but the knowledge is most important. That's the reason I'll say that what you can do is you don't need to collect maximum certification if you are from the database background. What you can do, you can complete the training, right? Complete the training of architecture, and once you understand the architecture, it is easy to adopt the data engineering associate, right? Because that's the first step. And once you can go with, you can also go with the data engineer associate, and you can complete the training. Now, there are some organizations. Now, for an example, I'm working on the security field. Okay, when I access the some client AWS infrastructure. Now, client has a requirement, okay, that the person who is going to access my AWS, the person must be certified. It's in their compliances. So in that case, the certification is very, very much a requirement. Right? So this is just one of the use case. But the certification is a secondary part. The first is always knowledge. Okay, I hope Gajanan, you got the answer. Sahil, I hope you also got the answer that you just asked me the question, why go for the AWS certification and not any other similar cloud? Okay, you mean to say other. See, it's not like that AWS is the only tool. Now let me tell you why AWS is more familiar, most usable cloud platform. AWS is the first company who introduced such a service into the market. So in 2006, AWS has a virtual machine, and that virtual machine you can access via the internet connection. AWS born directly to the cloud, whereas other products like an Azure, GCP, then Oracle, they adopt the technology of the cloud. So that's the reason is, if you go anywhere, AWS has the highest market share in the market. Because why? Because they already spread across the world. They have a very good infrastructures. Azure, the secondary, right? They are currently holding the second position. Now, why they hold the second position? Because Azure or the Microsoft, they already have the big customer databases. They already have their good customers. It is very easy for them, right, to adopt or migrate the customer from the on-premises infrastructure to the Azure platform. Third, Google Cloud Platform, they are very good in AI and ML. If you want to make a career in AI on the cloud, you can definitely go with the GCP, that's on Google Cloud Platform. So every product, whether it is AWS, whether it is Azure, whether it is GCP, they have their unique selling price, USP. They have a different USP. And once you understand any single product, whether it is AWS, Azure, Microsoft, or the GCP, once you understand anyone, it is very easy for you to understand the other products as well once you see the UI, because the concept is same, right? So one of the, I can say that why AWS. So the answer is that AWS is the first organization who introduced such a service in the market, and they have a highest market shares in the industries. That's the reason you can definitely go with the certification. Once you understand AWS, it is very easy for you to understand the other products as well. I hope you got the answer Sahil. No, sorry, iPhone. I don't know who. What is your name?
Yes, man, I got the answer. Thank you.
Okay. Which is the best certification for Java developer? Sorry, I don't know. I'm not from the Java developer. Redmi Note 8 Pro. I'm an NCA student but have a zero skill or knowledge. So which is the best for starting like? Yes. So you can start with the AWS solution architecture. Why? Because it don't require any basic skill, right? Because as I said that if you want to start your journey with the AWS, you can go ahead with the solution architecture. There is no such a prerequisites, right? Where no to go with the certification, you need to have this knowledge and that knowledge. No, there is no prerequisite for the solution architecture. But if you go to the any other certification, for example, the developer or the data engineer, the machine learning, AI, then obviously you must have some basic prior experience to achieve that certification. Because what? Because here in those certification, they will teach you about the tools which you can use it for the developer or the machine learning or anything. So they will not teach you that okay, what is a machine learning, what is a definition. So they, in the syllabus, they already assume that you already have this knowledge. But to start your career for the AWS solution architecture is the only one. So that's the reason it is a most demanding certifications. I hope you got the answer.
Yes, sir, I got it.
Yep, awesome. Any other question, folks? We already completed 1 hour.
Sir, how much communication plays a role in AWS?
How much what? Sorry, can you repeat for me?
Sir, how much communication plays a role?
Okay. You meant to say that for the interview, what is the role of communication, effective communication? Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. See, communication is important, right? Now, most of the organizations, for them, communication is nothing but an English language. It is just a language, it is not in communication. Effective communication, it means what? Okay, you need to have point to point discussions. So in interview, right? So nowadays in the college or other same, they ask that they force everyone that okay, you should give the interview to the in English language only. That's true, but you can easily adopt the English language. How? You just need to practice, speak, and that's it. People currently now they say that okay, I'm from the Marathi background, I'm from the Hindi background, or some other background. How can I speak? I'm also not from the English background. I'm also from the local school, right? But slowly, effectively, when I start speaking, now I'm enough confident. So yes, for the interview, the communication, or I can say, okay, we can change the word. English communicating in English is highly demanded. That's true. It's sad reality, but it's true. Sorry, Vandana, I'm not in a database experts. I'm the cloud experts. You can ask me the question on the cloud. Best certification for Oracle DBA in terms of cloud is, you can say, as I said, that first solution architect, and then second you can go with the data engineer. Yes, someone saying something.
For making career in AWS, or to understand the AWS, is coding is mandatory to
See, if you want to go with the developer background, yes, coding is required, where you need to understand Java, Python, right? Or let's say Spring Boot and all, that is required. But if you go with the architecture level or sys administration, you don't require any type of coding, right? So even though I'm not the coder or I'm not a software developer, I don't have any knowledge about the Java, Python, scripting. No, I don't have any knowledge because my field is completely different. I'm from the security background. I'm from the architecture background. So if you don't know the coding, it's not. It's okay. There are many fields also there. So you can make your career in an administration. You can make your career in the architecture, securities, or there are many. So to understand, or to work on AWS, the coding is not necessary. But if you go to the developer, if you go to the DevOps, if you go to the machine learning, if you go to the AI, then yes, these basic information or tool is highly recommended. Make sense?
Okay, sir.
No? Any other question, folks? If not, then we can wind up.
Sir,
If you have any question,
how much time it will take to understand the solution architecture, or we can say like, yes,
I
sir.
understand. Got it. So for the training, it required at least 50 to 60 hours for the training part. Then I'm expecting my student that they can work or they can have their homework assignments, which take around 1+ month. And then you can go with the certification and then you are ready. You got this?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Yes, Shekhar, we'll provide some exercise, but not immediately. We provide at the end once we complete the training part. So Sahil, for the fee structures, you can contact, I'm not the right person. So you can contact Aditya. So they have mentioned the number here. So if you want these informations, you can contact this person. Aditya is
Sir,
here.
I think 1 month is very less time to understand the whole concept of these AWS. How can we understand? Just like we are not familiar with this part, everything is new for us. So how can we understand all the things in
60 hour,
1 month and
60 hour is more than sufficient to understand the basic solution architecture. See, you cannot understand the entire AWS in a 2 or 3 or 6 months. If you want to understand the entire AWS, which is a combination of all certification, it takes years. I'm talking about start the solution architect associate, which required 60 hours is more than sufficient.
So
I'm
my
not saying
concern is
days.
like for making ourselves ready for job. So the main part to taking a job. So
Yes.
just like you are saying that solution architecture is a one certificate which we can take
60 days for a training and plus 1+ month for your preparation. You understand what I'm trying to say?
No, sir, I'm not understanding.
Okay,
Please.
so yeah,
Repeat.
sure. So 60 hours, okay, is for the training, okay, which goes around 1 month. That's the 60 hour. I'm talking about not in days. I'm talking about in hour. When we convert 60 hours into the days, it goes 1.5 month around. After the training, it is expected that you can prepare yourself for achieving the AWS solution architecture. Again, it takes around 1+ month. Now when I say 1+ month, it means what? Daily 2 hours minimum that you need to spend on the AWS. Then you can prepare for the AWS architecture exam. And once you achieve, then it's not like that you can directly apply for the AWS solution architecture role. No, then you need to apply the cloud engineer kind of roles. So solution architect as a position, right, in the organizations, for it required more than 7 or 8 years of experience. So first, you need to start your career as a cloud engineer. Make sense now?
Sir, please clear us the theory part and practical part, just like
Yes. So as I said that I'm working professional, it's my daily job. So I'm not using the PPT for my training. I'm using.
yes, sir. This is my.
Yeah. So I'm not using any no PPT part or something. So I'm using a two thing. One is a whiteboard, and second is the entire product. Because just now, as I said that I just gave you the Instagram example, right? Now you understand Facebook, you understand Instagram. Why? Because you spend the time. Same thing on the AWS. You cannot buy the time. You need to spend the time on it. So once you spend the time, it is very easy for you to understand each concepts. Make sense? Yes. So Rajeshwar, so tomorrow, sorry, I'm interrupting you. I'm so sorry. Let me answer the Rajeshwar, and then I'll take your question. So Rajeshwar, yes. So tomorrow I'm going to share the complete syllabus. We can have a next 1 hour session tomorrow as well, where I'll explain what exactly we are going to cover in a AWS solution architecture. Does AWS owned by Google? No. AWS is a different company, different organization. Hey, Sahil, thank you.
Hello, sir. Actually, I have one doubt. So this is specifically AWS course only, or AWS plus DevOps course?
You can. So later we also have the DevOps as well. But as I say that to start to understand, first we'll start with the AWS solution architecture, and then you can move to the DevOps. AWS DevOps professional. Make sense? I guess you are on mute.
No, I'm not asking about this AWS DevOps course. Only this AWS like Docker, Kubernetes, these kind of tools. Those tools.
Yeah. So in architecture, it is an introduction part where you understand what exactly is Docker, what exactly the container, what exactly the Kubernetes, and somewhat understand about the CI/CD pipeline. That is a part of the architecture, but not in deep dive. You will understand deep dive in the developer associate or the DevOps professional.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Tomorrow,
Again,
will it be at the same time tomorrow in the same link?
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello,
Any other
sir.
question? Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, sir. I have a
Yes.
question. So I am a fresher and I am only having a knowledge of Linux and SQL. Then which certification is best for me?
So it depends upon you that where exactly you want to go, right? So it is
Now,
not like that there is a,
professional.
yeah, it's not like that there is a industry standard certification. So if let's say you have completed Linux, right? So you already know the Linux, and what you say, Linux and what?
SQL.
Yeah, so Linux and SQL you have. So if you want to make your career in the Java, Spring Boot, you can. There is also option. If you want to make a career in the cloud, so you have a AWS, you have a Azure, you have a GCP. See, the certification is not an end goal. The main thing is that the knowledge, what type of knowledge you have. So if you understand the developing, go with the developer. I mean to say any development. If you want keen interest in the cloud, go with the cloud. It's not like that, okay, once you complete this certification, you will get a job. No, knowledge will give a job, not a certification.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rupesh. Any other question, folks, you have in your mind? Any other question, folks, you have in your mind? Okay, everyone, then thank you. Thank you so much for your time. It's very nice. It's a very good interactive session. So tomorrow, as I said, I'm going to explain about the syllabus, what exactly we are going to cover in the architecture level. So please be joined at the same time. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day or enjoy evening, folks. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you,
Good night,
Sakshi.
sir.
Thank you.